Okay, I'd like to start this video out with just a little bit of a preface. I scouted this area out back in July of last year. The grass was real high. It was really hot out. It was the middle of July in Georgia. And I was still able to come up with a couple of harmonica reeds and an old musket ball, and I'm pretty sure I had located an old home site in this hayfield. Well, I put it in the back of my head and I said, you know what, let's come back out here, maybe this winter time, after the hunting season, and see if they've cut the field. Well, I went back out a few days ago, and sure enough, they had cut the field. So I hiked back in. It's about a 20-minute hike. And I got back into this spot, and sure enough, I found where that old home site was, and I had one of the best hunts I've ever had. Check this out. Well, we got a beautiful morning here. The temperature is going to be in the low 60s today. Got a beautiful cut field here. A lot of power lines though. I'm getting a lot of interference on the dais, so I'm having to tweak a few things. But anyway, first signal of the morning, dug down here. Looks like we've got a parasol slide at the bottom of the hole. Yeah, good sized one too. All right, well, we'll keep rolling through here, see if we can't find something cool today. Beautiful day to be outside. All right, stay tuned. Well, I'm kind of up along the woods here. A lot of iron out in here. It's just loaded with iron. So definitely an old home site. Came across a pretty decent signal here. It's kind of low 70s. And a little chunk of brass. It looks like a toe tap. Yep, that's what that is. A little piece of toe tap from an old shoe. Probably middle 1800s, maybe early. All right, well, that's a good sign. Like I said, we definitely stumbled into an old home site here, so I'm just going to kind of grid this out and see what comes out the ground. Well, here's a nice 85 signal right up here in the plug. Indian head this time. First money on the day, 1 cent. See if we can get a date. Yeah, 1901. That's a young one. 1901 Indian head. All right. Well, we'll keep moving. Okay. Well, I've got two signals here. I've got a signal down over here that looks a little deeper, and then a shallow 70 signal here. I got a shard of glass, but look at this. Oh my goodness. Can you see that? Oh, that's a drooped wing, and look at all that gold gilt. That's a cuff button, a beautiful, what looks to be a Confederate cuff button, guys. Holy cow. Oh man, I gotta get that cleaned up a little bit. Holy smokes. That thing is gonna be gorgeous. Coming out of this sandy soil. Oh my word. All right, got to be careful with it. Gonna get a brush on it, maybe a little toothpick. Oh my goodness, I love it. Awesome. All right, I got a field cleaned just a little bit, guys. I'm still shaking. That is a Confederate staff officer's cuff button with a lot of gold gilt left on it. There is a back mark. I can't quite make it out. Maybe you guys can see it if I can stop shaking. There's just a little bit of a push on the back side there with that shank. Push down in just a little bit. But, I mean, come on. Overall, got to love it. Gorgeous little relic. All right, I've got another kind of a wiggly 74, 71 signal right down in the middle of the hole. Might be something good. It looks like it's a two-piece, again, cuff size. Yep. Oh, look at the gold. Oh.
look at that. It's another one. It's another one. Oh my gosh. Oh, now this is a little different design. This doesn't look like it has the stars on it. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. Look at the gold on that. Oh, unbelievable. Droop wing, eagle cuff, Confederate. Oh my gosh. All right, I got to get a brush on that before it dries out too much. No shank on this one, but no band on the back either. All right, stay tuned. We'll clean it up. All right, well, you can clearly see the AVC, which is Alabama Volunteer Corps, on that Confederate cuff button. Lots of gold gilt left on this one too, guys. It's just stunning. Really nice find. It's a Scoville back mark. Got to love it. Man, what a day. Okay, well, let's take a look at some of the lesser desirable targets tonight. I'm not going to call them trash. They're just lesser desirable. Lot of shotgun shells. And I'll tell you what, those little cuff buttons sound just like a shotgun shell. Dug a ton of them today. This one is a high brass one that came at a measured 10 inches deep with the dais. That was always nice. Did get what looks like a padlock with a keyhole cover. Which you can see right there. Brass piece that rang up high. This piece of glass, this shard of glass that came out next to that cuff button, has a pink hue to it. And it kind of looks like the side of a medicine bottle. You know, this being the bottom, this being the side. Little convex look to it, and it's real thick. So, kind of an interesting find. Did get a reeded piece. Looks like it's some kind of a, I don't know if that's a harmonica or a whistle. Kind of odd. And then a lot of the typical bullets and deer cartridges. Some slag, some strapping. And then over here, of course, we got the umbrella slide, the toe tap. This ended up being a little piece of a pocket knife. I don't think it's too terribly old. And then, of course, the Indian head penny, 1901. All right, let's take a closer look at those buttons. Okay, let's take a closer look at these little buttons. I tell you what, there's just something that really gets my blood boiling when I see these buttons come out of the ground. It is quite the adrenaline rush. So, you never would have thought that two cuff buttons would be so exciting, but this first one was my first droop wing Confederate button, and it's definitely a staff officer's cuff button. It has a back mark here, W. Dowler, if you look closely, and then Superior. The W. Dowler Company was in Birmingham, England. They were a major manufacturer of these two-piece buttons during that time. So this button was imported from England into the Confederacy and then dropped somewhere there in central Georgia until it was recovered just the other day with the dais. That would have been fun by itself, but then to find another cuff button probably 50 yards away, and this one is the Alabama Volunteer Corps, AVC, on the top. Pretty rare button. You see a few coat buttons dug from time to time, but this is a pretty little cuff. And the back mark on this one is Scoville Manufacturing Company. So this was probably manufactured right before the war started, 1850s or 1860. And I did a little background check on the Alabama Volunteer Corps. It's quite a bit of interesting history. They wore a navy-colored coat with gray pants. And then later on in the war, they went with the all-gray look. But at the beginning of the war, they were the same color as the Union as far as the coats are concerned. So I was not aware of that. But this little button has a lot of nice gold gilt left on it. And it's going to be a really nice display piece. I couldn't be happier with it. So, those are the big finds from today's hunt. Appreciate you coming along with me. And we'll see you next time when I'm back out there swinging the coil. Thanks for watching, everyone.